Hello viewers, with this video of installing Oracle RDBMS software and creating a database, I am going to start a new series named Mastering OEM, where I will cover everything you need to know about Oracle Enterprise Manager or OEM 13.5 to be able to administer it at its best. As usually I do, in this tutorial also, I am going to use a virtualized environment using Oracle VirtualBox Virtual Machine 6.1 and Oracle Linux 7.9 platform. If you are not familiar with Oracle VirtualBox, please watch my other series on Oracle VirtualBox Virtual Machines and create your virtual learning environment with Oracle Enterprise Linux the easiest way possible. So in this series, we will cover the topics: installation of Oracle 19c software, creating Oracle 19c database as the OEM repository, installation of OEM 13.5 server or the OMS, installation of OEM 13.5 agents on Oracle database servers, discovering and promoting database targets in OEM, creating target groups and establishing the group hierarchy, create incident rules and rule sets for monitoring targets, monitoring templates, standard metric and metric extensions, applying release updates or patches on OMS, upgrading OEM system to a future release. So this is my Oracle VirtualBox Virtual Machine console version 6.1, and I'm going to start my virtual machine named adminsvr, where I have already installed Oracle Linux 7.9. Again, if you want to learn about how to create an Oracle VirtualBox Virtual Machine in a Windows host, install Oracle Linux, create file systems, volume groups, logical volumes, etc., please watch my other series on how to create your virtual learning environment with Oracle Linux 7.9 as well as the basic Unix or Linux administration. So in this VM named adminsvr or adminsvr, I have installed Oracle Linux 7.9 64-bit, and I have allocated 16 gigs of RAM, 2 logical processors, and around 175 gigs of storage space, 1 bridge network adapter, and remaining all with their default settings. I have over-allocated the storage because I'm going to use this database as my OEM repository and also the file system to install all the Oracle binaries or to host the Oracle Base, Oracle Home, and OEM Home. But if you use the VM just to host the Oracle RDBMS binaries or to maintain the Oracle Home and just a test database, then just 50 gigs of space and 1 logical processor and around 8 gigs of RAM is enough. And now I'm starting my VM named adminsvr, where I have already installed Oracle Linux 7.9. Click Start. At this point, I will just log in as root user. Once the machine is started, log in directly to the VM and make sure that it is connected to the internet. And how we can check that? We can go to application, then say start one browser like Firefox, which is already installed. And once the Firefox browser is started, we can directly go to one of the known websites like Google. So our virtual machine is connected to the internet. At this stage, we can also start installation of Oracle from directly within this VirtualBox console. We can start a terminal and do our installation. But I prefer to connect to the VM or my Oracle Linux server using an SSH client like MobaXterm. So I will minimize this and I will connect to this virtual machine using my MobaXterm SSH client. I assume that you already know about SSH clients like PuTTY or MobaXterm and how to use them to do SSH or secure shell connect to a server using its IP address. In my case, I have already created an entry in the MobaXterm for my VM named adminsvr using its IP address. Now select a VM and I will connect as root. Here I'll do a df-h to see the file systems created. So I have a couple of file systems created for Oracle installation here, which are named as U001, U002, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this U001 is the file system where I am going to install the Oracle RDBMS software. I will also explain why these all other file systems like these 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. are created when the time comes. For now, we are going to use this U001 for our installation purpose. Before you start the installation, you need to download the Oracle 19c software from Oracle's Software Delivery Cloud. You must have your user account created with Oracle Corporation to be able to download software from Oracle. First, we need to go to edelivery.oracle.com, this particular website. Then you need to sign in with your account. And in the search box, you need to put Oracle Database 19c Enterprise Edition, and it will give us all the options to download Oracle 19c software, and we will click on this and it's added to our cart. Click on the view items in the cart. From here, we will unselect everything except the Oracle 19c database software. We don't need this all other components at this time, so we'll install only Oracle Database 19.3 long-term release. Depending on when you are downloading, this may be different for you, but all we need to care is to download Oracle 19c software. And here we have to select the platform. In our case, it's Linux x86 64-bit. So select this and then continue. Accept the license agreement. Continue. You can provide feedback if you want. I am simply closing this for now, and then you can click on the download button to start downloading the download manager software first. So once this download manager software is installed, you'll be able to see this in the taskbar. Click on that, and this is going to start the actual download of the software, where you need to specify the location where it is going to download the Oracle RDBMS software. By default, it is taking the download folder in my Windows machine. Click next and it will start downloading. So this zip file is the one which has the Oracle RDBMS installer, that is v982063-01.zip. So again, depending on when you are downloading, this file name may be different for you. So we need to wait here for a couple of minutes for the download to complete. Because I already downloaded the software, I will simply go back to my SSH session that I established to my Linux virtual machine. Now whatever command I am going to use in this tutorial, I will be explaining everything in the description of this video below. If you want, you can copy it from there. First of all, using root, I had to create the yum repository to download the packages required for Oracle software installation and creating the environment. First of all, we'll go to the folder called etc yum.repos.d. There should be already a couple of repositories which are created as a part of the installation of Oracle Linux 7.9. And now I am going to create a new repository here, which is going to be a public repository using wget command or wget. So I'm going to configure this public repository, which can be found in http://yum.oracle.com public yum.ol7.repo. Press enter. This is done. We can check and we can see there is a fourth repository available now. Next, we'll install the package that checks and create our environment for Oracle software installation, which is called Oracle Database Pre-install 19c. So using yum, I am installing yum install Oracle Database Pre-install 19c-y. This is going to take a couple of minutes to complete the installation. Now this package installation is complete. The Oracle Database Pre-install 19c, that package has installed all the other relevant packages and libraries required to create our environment. And this has also created the Oracle user along with various DBA groups that the Oracle user should belong to. Let's check ID Oracle, and we can see that a user with name Oracle is created with this user ID, and it belongs to these groups: oinstall, DBA, Opera, Backup DBA, DZ DBA, KM DBA, and Rack DBA, and the primary group being oinstall. Now let's change the password of the Oracle user. Password Oracle, and we will put a simple password like Oracle 123. Oracle 123. Now we need to check a few kernel parameters to make sure that the environment is properly created. To do that, we will simply do a cat on the etcsysctl.conf file, and we will grab the Oracle related parameters, and we see that all the kernel parameters are properly set. As an Oracle DBA, you already know how important it is to set all the kernel parameters properly in your environment before you start installing the Oracle software. So it has all the settings related to how many files will be open, how many memory segments will be created, and what will be the range of the ports that will be used in the network communication, etc. Next, we need to check the security limits. To do that, we will simply do the command. We'll cat the file limits.conf and grab the Oracle related parameters, which return nothing, means the security related parameters are not yet set. So we have to set that here. So we'll do a vi with this file, and we will set certain parameters there. We will go to the end of the file, edit it, and paste these lines here, where the hard and soft limit for number of files open, number of processes, stack, and memory lock, etc. And we'll save this file. And the next thing we need to check is to make sure that the firewall is disabled in our Linux server. We do that using systemctl command status firewall D, which is the daemon, and we see that it's already disabled. If it is not disabled, you can do that using the same command. Just pass this parameter disable here. So systemctl disable firewall D will disable our firewall in the Linux server where we are installing our Oracle software. Now I will clear the screen and do a df-h again to go to the file system details, and I have already mounted a Windows host file system named vboxsf. If you see here, this file system actually it belongs to the Windows host where we have installed our VirtualBox software. Again, if you want to know how to mount a host file system into the guest file system, here the guest is Linux 7.9 server, you watch my other series that I mentioned before, which is on how to create your Oracle VirtualBox virtual machine and creating your virtual learning environment. Now in this Windows host file system, I have already copied our Oracle installer software that I have downloaded before. So we go to this particular file system and we'll list out the files. So this is our Oracle installer zip archive that we downloaded before. Now we have to copy this zip archive to a local file system like our temp file system. So I'll simply copy this zip archive to our temp file system. Then we will change the permissions on this file to 777, and then we will make the Oracle user as the owner of this U001 file system so that it is able to install the Oracle software in that file system. So chown minus capital R Oracle : the primary group and the file system name. Now as a root user, I will allow other users to access the graphical user interface of this virtual machine by using the command xhost+. Now I will do a sudo su -oracle to switch user to Oracle user, which will be used to do the remaining activities. So now my user session is connected with Oracle user, and I will first do a cd u001 file system. Right now there is nothing, and first we will create our directory structure, that is under u001 app/oracle/product/19.3/dbhome1. This will be our complete path under u001 file system for our Oracle 19c software installation. Next, we will unzip the Oracle installation zip archive under this dbhome directory. So it will be unzip -o. This is the source location, that is under temp. We have copied this zip archive, and this will be unzipped under this dbhome_1 directory. It's going to take about a minute, and we have successfully unzipped the zip archive of the Oracle installer. Now, as Oracle user, we will set the display variable so that we can access the graphical user interface of the Oracle installer. To do that, we will export the display variable, and we can see what IP address belongs to this particular machine from where I am accessing or using the SSH client to connect to my Linux host in this button X server. So we see that the display variable should be assigned to 192.168.1.54:0.0 to access the graphical user interface. So we'll put that accordingly. 192.168.1.54:0.0. So once the display variable is set, we will change directory to the dbhome directory, under which our installer application is present. So if we do an ls lrt, we'll be able to see there is one program, run installer, which we are going to run to install our Oracle software. So all we need to do is to call this run installer program, which will invoke the graphical user interface of the Oracle installer, and it's coming up. I'll move it a little up. So here we have the option to create and configure a single instance database, or just install the Oracle software, which can be used to create the database later on. In this tutorial, I will simply show you the first option to create a temporary database, but in the next tutorial, I am going to explain how we can create a database following all the best practices to distribute all the different types of files across different file systems that we created before, like U002, 3, 4, 5, and 6, along with the U001, which is used only for the Oracle software installation. But for the sake of the completion of today's tutorial, I am going to use this first option to install the Oracle software as well as create a single instance database. So I will simply click next, and the software installation will be of server class, and we will do the enterprise edition here, which will include all the features and functions related for our 19c Oracle database. And the Oracle base location will be U001 app Oracle, because as you know, this is our Oracle home location. So the difference between Oracle base and Oracle home is Oracle base is the base directory where all your Oracle products are installed, and Oracle home is specific to one particular installation of a Oracle product. For example, it may be an Oracle 19c database, an 18c database, or it may be an Oracle Enterprise Manager agent, etc. So each of these will have their own Oracle home, but all of these can share one particular Oracle base. So we'll click next, and the Aura inventory group name, by default it is selected as O install. We'll keep it like that, and this database is going to be a general purpose database, general purpose and transaction processing. So we'll select that option. Now global database name, this is important. What name you are going to give to your database, you have to define here. So I am using ORCL as my database name, which is the SID of the database, and orcl.manage.home is the global database name that has the SID as well as the domain name, which will be identified uniquely within my home network. And I'm not going to create any pluggable database or the container database structure here. So I'll uncheck this option, and here you can enable automatic memory management, and I am not using that. Character set, this is the best character set that covers almost everything. So this Unicode AL32UTF-8 is the one that we are going to select. And sample schemas, we are not going to install the sample schemas like Scott and other schemas that is used to learn Oracle software. So as I'm not selecting the automatic memory management, my SGA and PGA are allocated in a certain ratio based on the total amount of memory allocated to the Oracle instance. So my virtual machine already has 16 gigs of total memory allocated. Out of that, 6 gigs I am allocating, and remaining 10 gigs is still with the operating system. So I'll click next, and for now we are going to create all our data files under this directory Ora data, which is under the Oracle base itself. As I already mentioned, I am going to create this temporary database for the completion of this tutorial, but in the next tutorial I will explain how actually we should create the Oracle database following all the best practices. So for now, this Ora data is the directory under the Oracle base where all our data files will be created, and we are not using ASM here. This is all file system related. Then register with Enterprise Manager Cloud Control. This option we are not using because we are not yet done with our Oracle Enterprise Manager setup. Now enable recovery, and this is for enabling the fast recovery area, and we are using the directory called recovery area under the Oracle base to configure this fast recovery area, and we are not using ASM again here. So click next, and we will simply put a password like the name of the database itself, ORCL, just for learning purpose, and this will be assigned to all our administrative accounts like sys and system. Click next. It will complain about the password complexity not being as per the standards, and we will simply click yes here. Now all the group assignments we will keep as it is. If you want, you can change it. Now OS DBA group, this is the DBA group, and the operator group is the OPER. For backup, it is backup DBA. Data guard, it is DZ DBA, and key management will be used by this group, KMDBA, and for real application cluster, it is the RAG DBA. So these groups were created earlier as a part of the prerequisites which were completed by the Oracle 19c pre-installation package that we installed before. Now click next. Now here we have an option here to run the configuration scripts that should be actually run by the root user. So because we have the root password, and so we can configure the root scripts to be run automatically under this installation. I will put our root password here so that the installer will not ask us to run a root script separately by a root user once the installation is complete. Instead, the installer itself will run the root script for us. And if we want, we can also use the use sudo option here, where the current user must have sudo access to the root user to run the root script. So I am using the root user credential itself. We'll click next, and it will verify if the target environment meets all the minimum requirements to complete the installation, and if it is able to find something which is not as per the standard, it will give us the warning. At this stage, it's asking that the swap size needs to be increased, and it is giving a warning, and the details are given below. The expected value is 15 gigs, but actual value is 3 gigs, which is smaller than the required value. In this case, either we can increase the swap size or we can ignore this value. For us, this is just a test database, and we will simply ignore this so that we can proceed with the installation. So click next, and it will ask again to confirm yes, and whatever we have selected so far, a summary of everything is given here, and we will start the installation by clicking on the install button, and it will now start installation of Oracle software as well as creating a temporary database or a test database for us with the name or SID ORCL. The installation is going to take a couple of minutes. Now, as a precaution, the installer is asking about the scripts being run as the privileged user or the root user and whether I am sure to do that. I will simply click yes. At this stage, if you want, you can also see the details about the progress by clicking on the detail button, and it will show you the steps being executed, and this particular small window is refreshed time to time. So our database creation just got completed, and it also gave us one URL, that is the Enterprise Manager Database Express URL, to connect to this database instance and do basic troubleshooting or administrative activities. That has the name of the server and the domain and the port, that is 5500/EM, and we will close it to finish creation of the database. Next, how we will connect to this database. First of all, we'll check whether this database is up or not, and we see that the process associated with this database instance, that is the pmon process ORCL is the instance, is up. It means the database is up. And also we'll check whether there is any listener created, which will help us to connect to the database. And we can see that the installer has also created one listener for us with the name listener. Now, to be able to connect to the database, we need to set certain environment variables, which will include the Oracle Home, TNS admin, and Oracle SID, and the libraries, and the path variable as well. So we will set all these variable into the .bash profile of the Oracle user, which is available under the Oracle users home directory. So we will go to the Oracle users home directory, which is nothing but the home Oracle directory, and we will vi the bash profile file, and we will add a few lines here, which I'm going to explain. First line, which is exporting the Oracle base environment variable. Next one is the Oracle home, then the library path, and the Oracle SID or name of the database, that is ORCL, and the Oracle unique name, which is also should be ORCL, and the TNS admin folder, that is pointing to all our network related libraries and files, that is the Oracle home network admin folder, and the path variable, which has our path to all the executables we need when we log in as Oracle user. And the last environment variable, that is PS1, will give us the prompt string, which will tell us which database currently we are working with. And we will save this, and then we will exit from this shell, and we will do a sudo to Oracle user again, and this time all our environment variables are set, and we can see that in the prompt it changed to ORCL, means we are currently working with the ORCL named Oracle database. And we will do a SQL plus / as sysdba to connect to the database as sysdba, and it is connected. So parameter unique, you see it is the ORCL database. And also we can see to which listener this database instance is registered with. So parameter local, and we can see that the value is listener underscore ORCL. So we will be able to see a TNS entry with this particular string, which is actually pointing to the listener in this server, which is listening at port 1521. Okay, this is the host name, and the protocol being used is TCP. And if we want to get more details on the listener, we can use ls and rctl status listener. The name of the listener is also listener, and we can see that this particular service, that orcl.manage.home, which we used to give as a global database name of this particular database, is registered, and the instance is ORCL, and the status is ready. So this is how we install Oracle 13c software in a Oracle Linux 7.9 virtual machine. In the next tutorial, we will drop this database and we will recreate this database using DBCA, that is the Database Configuration Assistant, and we will follow all the best practices while creating an Oracle database. And that database we are going to use as our OEM repository database. So viewers, I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. Please hit the like button if you liked it and subscribe to my channel so you won't miss an episode in this series for the Oracle DBAs or similar educational videos that I am uploading every week.